All right, folks, we are back with more Knights of the Old Republic 2, and this is going to be the second to the last time-lapse episode. Almost done, so that's exciting. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So we are heading to the Jek Tar. Trying to remember where it is right there. Well, third time's the charm as far as attempts go. Atten shows up and says, "Well, wait a minute. Dangerous place. I'm kind of worried about you. Here, take these healing packs. Just on the off chance that you need them if you start. I don't know. I think he said having a seizure from the gas or whatever that they pump in there. So that was nice. But now we're checking out the different forums that I have. But I decided to stick with Force Channel. Anyway, the Wookiee shows up and asks us where we're going, tells us that Visquis, the squid face thing, with the exchange, sent out a kind of broadcast message saying that he wants all the bounty hunters to deliver the Jedi to him. Because the exchange and the Gato person kind of have a rivalry going on over us. Anyway, Atten decides that he's going to go to the cantina for whatever reason, and then these two Twi'lek show up, which I don't know if you remember or not, but they work for Gato, and while Gato forbid them from harming us, that apparently doesn't stop them from trying to harm our companions and friends and use them as bait to get a hold of us in some roundabout fashion. So now I have to play as Atten, just Atten, and fight these two very annoying people. And it doesn't go too well the first time, like at all. I don't deal any damage to me, and I don't deal any damage to them, and they deal tons of damage to me. Like every time I use a med pack, it's just instantly the health I get is gone. And yeah, so there I died. I'm pretty annoyed at that, so I have to run through all the cutscenes again and whatnot. I think I get it on the second try though, which that's not too bad. But it's just so annoying. It's just like like what would have happened right there? Like if we never used Atten, like if we never used him, never equipped him with like anything at all, and he just had like nothing. Like this would be just about near impossible, unless. And another thing that I was just commenting on there, I remember, was that we don't start this fight at full health. Like we started with like hardly anything, which also made this very unnecessarily hard. I feel. So this time I try and use some shields. I accidentally triggered that dialogue, but this time I try and use some shields, and it helps a little bit. Still have to use med packs. I'm getting very annoyed right now trying to run around in circles and dodge them, and I think I hurt myself with that grenade. And I'm like, all right, there's got to be something else to do here, because this just does not seem possible to me right now with two of them, with the amount of damage that I am not dealing to them. And so I'm like, all right, maybe this door opens. It doesn't, but only one of them follows me in here, which was very, very helpful. That was exactly what I needed to win this fight. It was to only have to fight one of them at a time. So I kind of accidentally, I don't know, cheesed the AI, I guess you might say. So I loot her, and I'm seeing if maybe switching to swords would work better to take care of them. So I heal up a little bit, and then we try out the swords. And it's not really working any better or worse. And if you notice, she just freaking used a med pack as well, which really annoyed me. But since there's just one of them now, it's really no problem. So we finish tying that up, head back to the ship, and report in, and they say, well, that's weird. Why would they be doing that? There's a truce between bounty hunters and Nar Shaddaa, which isn't apparently in effect anymore. And now we got some more weirdos showing up, who also apparently have a claim to this landing pad. Like this landing pad is apparently a pretty hot commodity. But Baldur will apparently take care of that, and thankfully we don't have to play as him. And then Mira here kind of, I don't know, mugs us. She basically knocks us out and drags us off somewhere, and then goes into the Jek Tar in our stead, and we get to play as her. Which I thought was really kind of random and just kind of out of the blue. It was just like, what? Where did this person come from? Because we'd seen her for all of like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds before in that one episode where she was arguing with Hanhar. And she had never like never noticed us before, as like that was just a cutscene. Like we weren't standing there talking to her, so she's like, how does she even know who we are? But I mean, I guess maybe she's a well, I guess she's mobbed up with all the bounty hunters, so that's probably how she has a general idea of who we are. But anyway, she has a bunch of levels to apply, so that's what I'm doing here. Um, though ultimately, this doesn't even matter, as I don't get her in my party. Because since we're doing a dark side, we don't get Mira. We get Hanhar. Um, so that's some restriction or differentiation they put in between the different playthroughs. Um, so the squid face, yeah, that's Visquis. And I don't know why we decided, or she decided it was a good idea to take it off and actually reveal herself. But they're pretty upset about that, especially Hanhar, as he was expecting to get a pretty good payday or something like along those lines from the Jedi being in here. And yeah, they're still talking about Volga having his freighters hijacked by Gato, because I think Mira, I think she works for Gato, and Visquis works for Volga in the exchange. But anyway, so they fry her up there and take her prisoner, and Hanhar's there he is complaining about his money. And so yeah, so she basically knocked us out and dragged us over here, and turns out she's friends with Mr. Mustache Jedi Master, who's what we were actually looking for on Nar Shaddaa. So that's convenient anyway. But he says if you want more answers, you got to follow me into the Jek Tar. And so I say, all right, fine, we'll go to the Jek Tar like I was initially planning on it. And we run over there. But we unfortunately don't have that fancy suit. And immediately start to get hit by the gas. But Kreia, as always, has an answer for everything, and tells us that the Force can sustain us. You know, screw oxygen. Who needs that? So let's see. Visquis basically says, "Wait a minute, the gas isn't working," and he's apparently in charge of the whole cantina and can just order them all to immediately attack us. So I'm looking through the force powers there, but then I'm like, well, wait a minute. I seem to recall that I have a breath mask item that makes me immune to poison, so I'll just equip that instead of wasting force powers on staying alive. I know, funny logic, but I'm still not used to having the force channel stance, I guess. Because I'm still used to actually running out of force points, which doesn't happen anymore, as I have just ridiculous. Well, for one thing, I have like 250 force points, and I also have a ridiculously high regen rate. And we got these little midgets in this room, but they're still no problem. They sort of hurt me a little bit, but I just switched to drain life and heal it right back up. And like again, I still have practically full force points. Like it's great. Like I what's not to like about being a consular? They're like, oh, complicated gameplay for advanced players. I mean, does this look complicated to you? I just run around and smash force lightning and everything dies. It's not that complex sounding to me. I mean, I guess we're a little squishier, but I don't know. Anyway, we just tidy up everything in here. This is pretty much just an XP factory, and chemicals as well. But I think that's going to be just about the end of this one. So when we come back, we'll tackle the last time-lapsed one, which will be pretty nice to be done with those. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next one when we return with more Knights of the Old Republic 2.